Tonight, as you close your eyes and let your thoughts drift away, the noise of the day begins to fade. You can feel your body start to soften, like clouds slowly melting into the evening sky. Your breath moves in a gentle rhythm, calm and quiet, flowing in and out like the tide. The air around you feels still. There is nothing to do, nothing to fix. Only the soft feeling of being here, in this moment, between one heartbeat and the next. As you rest, time begins to loosen its hold. The ticking world outside grows slower, as if the seconds are stretched into something soft and endless. You might notice how a single breath can feel like a minute, and how a quiet minute can feel like a dream that never ends. Time is not a straight line here. It bends, it folds, it opens like ripples on calm water. It moves with you, gently, easily, never rushing. You remember how some days pass quickly, and others seem to last forever. How laughter makes hours vanish, and silence makes moments stretch wide. That is a quiet trick of the mind. Time changes shape depending on how we feel. When you are calm, time expands, like the sky after rain. When you are restless, it slips through your fingers like sand. But tonight, it asks nothing of you. It only invites you to float within it. The world of sleep is waiting, just beyond thought. It is a place where time moves in circles, not lines, where the past and future drift together like soft clouds. You can let yourself move closer to it, gently, without force. The space around you feels softer now, warmer, safer. You are not late for anything. You are not early for anything. You are right where you need to be, resting inside the slow heartbeat of night. Listen to your breath again. Each inhale is a beginning. Each exhale is an ending. The two dance together, forming a rhythm older than time itself. This is a body's quiet clock, one that needs no numbers, no ticking, no rush. It simply flows, like waves against the shore. Every time you breathe, you are reminded that life moves gently, even when everything seems still. Now the air seems thicker, softer, filled with calm. The seconds drift like feathers in water. You can almost see them, pale shapes floating through your mind, glowing softly before disappearing into the dark. The longer you stay here, the slower everything becomes. The faster thoughts fade, the slower time feels. The body and the mind are learning to rest together again. You can feel the comfort of stillness growing deeper now. It's like standing in a quiet forest at dusk, where the last golden light rests between the trees. The air hums with peace. The earth breathes beneath you. You are part of it, a soft thought, a moving breath, a calm rhythm. And as you sink further into stillness, you realize time is not outside you at all. It lives within your breath, your heartbeat, your dreams. Tonight, you don't need to measure it. You don't need to chase it. Time can move how it wishes, fast, slow, or not at all. You can simply rest inside its quiet arms. Feel the softness of your pillow, the warmth around you, the gentle rhythm of sleep approaching. Let your body feel heavy and light at the same time. Let the seconds dissolve into comfort. The night is long, but peaceful. The world is turning slowly. You are safe here, and everything is calm. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There is a quiet magic in the way our mind stretches moments. As you lie still, breathing slowly, the seconds begin to lose their sharp edges. They melt into one another, soft and endless, like colors fading across the sky. You may notice how each breath feels longer than the last, how your thoughts begin to drift and dissolve, how time itself starts to move differently, slower, smoother, more peaceful. Sometimes, when you feel calm and safe, a single moment can feel like a dream. Your body knows this rhythm well. When you rest, the brain no longer counts seconds or measures minutes. It listens instead to feelings, the warmth of the blanket, the quiet hum of the night, the soft weight of your heartbeat. These feelings expand, stretching time like a slow tide, carrying you deeper into calm. Imagine a clock in your mind, its hands melting gently under the warmth of your breath. The numbers slide away, leaving only stillness. You are no longer keeping track of anything. You are simply existing, the way clouds exist in the sky or waves exist on the ocean. Each breath becomes its own tiny universe, beginning and ending in silence. Think of a sunset that never ends, the colors slowly changing, gold to pink, pink to violet, fading so gradually that you can't tell when day becomes night. That is how the brain feels when it rests. It no longer needs to move fast. It watches everything unfold softly, like watching light drift across water. Emotions can change how we feel time. Joy makes it fly. Peace makes it linger. Fear makes it rush. Comfort makes it slow. When you smile gently in the dark, when your chest rises and falls in rhythm, you are teaching time to soften. The mind learns that there is no need to hurry. It can wander through a single second for as long as it likes. Picture a quiet afternoon, the kind where sunlight moves slowly across the floor. The air feels heavy but kind. You can hear the faint whisper of wind through an open window. Hours pass, but it feels like one long, peaceful breath. This is what it means for moments to stretch. They are not trapped in clocks, they live in feelings. When you breathe deeply, you help your brain slow its inner rhythm. Every calm breath tells your body, there is no danger here. And when the body believes that, time obeys, the heartbeat slows, the mind relaxes. Seconds drift open like flower petals, wide and quiet. Sometimes it happens in dreams too. You may live a whole story that feels like days, but only minutes have passed. Your mind knows how to make time gentle. It wraps you in its softness and lets you rest in the space between thoughts. You are floating now in that same space. The seconds move like waves. There is no beginning, no end, only gentle motion, the kind that rocks you to sleep. Let the moment stretch around you like warm water. Let your breathing slow even more. Somewhere far away, the world is still ticking, but not here. Here, time is soft and forgiving. It waits for you. It breathes with you. It follows the rhythm of your calm. The more peaceful you feel, the slower everything moves. You are not running out of time. You are floating inside it, carried by the quiet current of your own. The sunset inside your mind is fading now, but it never really ends. It glows softly, like a memory that hums in gold light. The air feels slower, the thoughts lighter. You are drifting deeper, wrapped in stillness. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There is a soft rhythm living inside you, a quiet pulse that measures time in heartbeats instead of seconds. You don't hear it most of the day, but now, as everything grows still, it begins to whisper again. Your heart moves in a slow, gentle pattern, beating not for the clock, but for you. It is the oldest rhythm you know, one that began before you ever opened your eyes to the world. Each heartbeat is a small wave, rising and falling, guiding your body like a metronome of calm. When you breathe in, the heart listens. When you breathe out, it rests. Together they create a pattern. Inhale, exhale, beat, pause. This is your body's secret language of time. It doesn't rush or hurry. It doesn't care about numbers. It only follows how you feel. When you are calm, the rhythm slows. The heart takes its time, stretching each beat like a quiet note in a song. The breath grows longer, softer, deeper. Everything feels open, wide, and kind. Time itself begins to copy your heartbeat, moving at the same peaceful pace. The world seems to exhale with you. When fear or stress enters, the rhythm changes. The heart speeds up, the breath shortens, the second grows sharp and quick. The body starts counting every sound, every thought, every tick of the clock. But now, in this quiet moment, none of that exists. You are safe, surrounded by stillness. You can feel how your heart begins to slow again, following the gentle sway of your breath. Try closing your eyes. Feel your pulse somewhere in your body, maybe in your chest, or softly in your fingertips. It moves like water against the shore, steady and calm. Your breathing joins in, flowing quietly, creating a harmony that no clock can follow. This is your personal time. No one else can feel it the way you do. As you breathe softly, notice how the space around you expands. Every second begins to stretch wider, as if you are floating inside a soft bubble of air. The edges of time fade away. You are no longer counting. You are simply existing inside a rhythm that feels infinite. Imagine yourself lying in a quiet field at night. The stars above you pulse faintly, just like your heart. The air moves gently over your skin. The earth breathes beneath you. Everything around you beats in the same slow pattern. Heart, breath, wind, sky. The whole world moves in time with you. Your body understands this slow rhythm better than your mind ever could. It knows when to rest and when to flow. The heart never asks for attention. It only asks for peace. And when you give it peace, it gives you calm in return. Let your breath move deeper now. Feel how each inhale expands your chest, how each exhale softens it again. The air feels warm as it passes through you. It carries away any rush left inside your thoughts. Each slow breath creates a little more space, until time itself feels wide, gentle, and endless. The slower you breathe, the slower the heart follows. They move together, like two old friends walking under the moonlight, never in a hurry, never looking at a clock. Just being, step by step, beat by beat. Now the world outside feels far away. Only your heartbeat remains, soft and steady, like the sound of waves in the distance. You are floating in rhythm, wrapped in quiet. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. As you begin to drift toward sleep, the edges of time start to blur. Seconds grow soft, stretching and folding until they no longer have shape. You can feel yourself sinking slowly, as though your thoughts are floating on a warm, quiet sea. The water is calm, endless, and gentle. Each ripple carries a piece of your mind further from the noise of the waking world. This is where dreams begin, not suddenly, but quietly, like mist forming over the ocean. In this place, time bends. Hours can pass in a moment, or a moment can feel like forever. You may live a whole lifetime in the space of a single breath, walk through memories that never happened, or see places that only exist in the soft fabric of your imagination. Dreams are made from feelings more than facts. They do not obey the clock. They flow with emotion, with comfort, with fear, with wonder. In a dream, you are free from the rhythm of seconds and minutes. You move through stories shaped by your own heartbeat. The body rests while the mind drifts, exploring a world that has no measured time. Imagine floating on your back in warm, still water. The surface holds you up, weightless and calm. You can't tell where the water ends and the air begins. You just float, breathing softly, eyes closed, feeling light as a feather. This is what happens when the body enters sleep. The muscles release, the thoughts loosen, and the mind begins to swim in its own sea. In this ocean of dreams, clocks melt away like wax under sunlight. Numbers disappear. The idea of time fades, replaced by pure feeling, comfort, quiet, softness. You may dream that you are walking for miles or talking for hours, yet only seconds pass in the real world. The brain creates its own rhythm, painting moments that last as long as they need to. It's a kind of magic we all know but never fully understand. Scientists call it alter perception, but it feels like poetry, like the universe slowing down just for you. Your mind is floating through a sky without direction, gliding wherever peace leads it. Every time you dream, you step outside of time itself. You enter a world built not from clocks, but from color, emotion, and memory. And in that world, you can rest in ways a waking mind never can. You can feel safe, light, and infinite. Let yourself imagine that feeling now, your body weightless, surrounded by warmth. Thoughts drift by like clouds in slow motion. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, no past, no future. Only the soft rhythm of floating. The body feels lighter, as if gravity itself has taken a gentle breath and let go. Hey, the seconds float too. They rise and fall with your breath. They shimmer like tiny bubbles, glowing for a moment before fading into the dark. Every breath becomes a wave, and every wave carries you deep into the calm sea of dreams. You are no longer watching the clock. You are no longer measuring sleep. You are part of something slower, something ancient and kind. The ocean of rest has no beginning and no end. It just moves, softly, forever. The night surrounds you now. It feels vast, but gentle. The stars above seem still, yet they are moving too, slowly, silently, across the sky, just like your mind drifting through the tides of sleep. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Sometimes, when you are calm and still, the world begins to move differently. Every sound, every breath, every tiny moment feels softer, slower, easier to notice. The brain, in its quiet wisdom, has a way of changing how fast life seems to move. When you are busy or distracted, time feels quick and slippery. But when you focus gently, without rush, it stretches open like a slow, beautiful wave. Your mind is not a clock. It doesn't truly count seconds. It feels them. It shapes them depending on how awake, how calm, or how peaceful you are. When your thoughts run fast, your brain skips ahead, collecting images, sounds, and emotions all at once. But when you slow down, the brain relaxes, taking its time, like watching raindrops fall one by one, each perfectly round, each glimmering before it touches the earth. Imagine standing by a window on a rainy day. You watch a single drop slide down the glass. The world outside is quiet. The sound of rain becomes a soft rhythm, the kind that wraps around you like a blanket. In that stillness, 1 second feels long enough to hold a whole thought, a feeling, a dream. That is what slow motion truly is. Not something seen through a camera, but something felt through the heart. When the mind is calm, it takes in less noise and more detail. You begin to notice things that fast living often hides. The tiny sway of shadows, the slow rise of your chest as you breathe, the small warmth in your hands. The brain processes each of these gently, with care. It's as if your attention is shining a soft light over the moment, asking it to stay a little longer. This is why peaceful moments feel endless. When you give something calm attention, the way candlelight flickers, the way air moves through the room, the way your breath touches your skin, time slows in return. It's not magic, only balance. The brain listens to how you feel, and when you whisper stillness, it answers with slow motion. There are times when this happens naturally, while watching clouds move across the sky, or listening to soft music, or lying in bed at night when the world grows silent. The mind slows its steps, as if afraid to disturb the quiet. Each thought becomes lighter, more distant. The seconds expand until they feel endless, and you are floating somewhere between awake and dreaming. Scientists say that focus changes how quickly the brain measures the world. But hey, it doesn't matter what science calls it. What matters is how it feels. You are not counting time anymore. You are feeling it, the soft pulse of the present moment moving gently through you. Every time you breathe, you create another ripple in this slow river of awareness. You are both the water and the traveler. The brain follows your breath, and your breath follows your heart. Together, they make life move at just the right pace, not too fast, not too slow, but peacefully balanced. Now imagine yourself lying under a tree, watching sunlight flicker through the leaves. The air moves gently over your skin. You see dust floating, slow and golden, as though time itself has decided to rest beside you. You realize that the world is not rushing at all. It is simply breathing with you. Your mind can live in that slow motion whenever you wish. All it takes is calm attention, the kind that doesn't chase, doesn't demand, doesn't hurry. Just quiet looking, quiet breathing, quiet being. And now, as your breath grows even softer, the world follows your pace. The night slows with you. Thoughts dissolve into stillness. Every heartbeat stretches wider, like a long exhale. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There's a quiet space that lives between waking and sleep, a soft and secret place that few ever notice. You visit it every night, though it never looks quite the same. It begins when the body grows heavy, when thoughts lose their sharpness, and the edges of the world begin to blur. You are not fully awake, not fully dreaming. You are drifting somewhere in between, in the endless moment before sleep. Hey, time changes shape. Seconds stretch until they feel like waves rolling through the dark. Each breath becomes longer, deeper, slower. The air feels thick and warm, like velvet resting on your skin. The sounds around you begin to fade, the distant hum of the world, the soft rhythm of your heart, all blending into one gentle tone that hums quietly in the background. You are safe here. The mind begins to loosen its hold, and the body remembers what it means to rest. You are no longer thinking in words, only in feelings. A floating kind of comfort spreads through your chest, and the weight of the day drifts away like mist. There is no rush to fall asleep, no need to reach for dreams. Sleep is already reaching for you. This moment before sleep is its own kind of world. The thoughts that rise now are not clear or logical. They are soft shapes, gentle colors, memories that melt and reform like clouds. You may see a light, or a face, or hear a sound that doesn't exist. Not strange, Not frightening, just quiet whispers from the part of your mind that dreams before you do. Time in this space moves like honey. Every second feels wide, golden, and slow. The body is still, but the mind drifts freely, floating without direction. You are aware, but barely. You feel both present and far away, as though you are watching yourself sink into warmth. If you listen closely, you can hear your own calm rhythm, the soft flow of air, the heartbeat echoing gently inside. The world outside your body has faded, but this inner world glows softly, steady and kind. Nothing asks for your attention here. Nothing hurries you. Every sound fades into distance, and every thought dissolves into light. You are floating, not falling. The line between body and air has disappeared. You can no longer tell where your skin ends and the night begins. You are part of something vast and peaceful, a space without edges, without clocks, without demands. It is here that dreams begin to form quietly, like tiny ripples under still water. The first images drift through your mind, half memory, half imagination. They don't yet make sense, but they are gentle, familiar, safe. The brain hums softly, creating its first shapes of dreamlight, painting the night with calm. You might feel as though you are sinking deeper into your bed, but lighter at the same time, grounded and floating all at once. This is a delicate balance of rest, where gravity and thought no longer matter. The world holds you softly, and you let go of everything else. Now, only calm remains. The mind is quiet, the body is still, and time has stopped counting. You are in the endless moment before sleep, timeless, weightless, safe. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Inside your mind, there is a clock that never ticks, never shows numbers, and yet it quietly guides the rhythm of your life. It tells your body when to wake, when to eat, when to rest. You cannot see it, but you can feel its gentle pattern, a slow wave that rises and falls every day, shaped by light, warmth, and darkness. This inner clock lives deep in the brain, in a small place that listens carefully to the world outside. When morning light touches your eyes, even through closed lids, it sends a signal, a soft reminder that the day has begun. Your body wakes up, your heart beats a little faster, and your mind opens its eyes to the world. The warmth of daylight tells your cells to work, to move, to create energy. But as the day fades and light begins to fall, the clock changes its song. Shadows stretch, the air cools, and the brain whispers to your body that it's time to slow down. A gentle chemical called melatonin begins to rise, like a calm tide washing through your blood. It softens your thoughts, quiets your heartbeat, and tells your body that night has arrived. Your temperature drops a little, not enough to notice, but just enough for the body to rest more easily. Muscles loosen, breathing slows, and your inner rhythms start to align with the rhythm of the night. It is nature's way of saying, you can rest now. The brain has always followed the light. Long before clocks and calendars, it watched the sun rise and set. The glow of dawn woke our ancestors, and the dark of night wrapped them in stillness. Even today, that same light and darkness speak to the body in a language older than memory. When you turn off the lights at night, your inner clock feels a darkness like a lullaby. The absence of brightness tells it to release you from alertness. The brain understands. There is nothing to see, nothing to do. Time itself begins to stretch. You may notice that when you lie quietly in the dark, minutes begin to feel longer. The world outside fades away, and the only time that matters is the slow rhythm of your breath. This is your body's natural alignment with night, a gentle surrender to stillness. Inside, the clock continues to count, but not with numbers. It measures light, silence, and calm. When the night is dark enough and the air feels cool, it knows it is safe for you to sleep. The rhythm of hormones, temperature, and breath all begin to move together, like instruments in a quiet song. Even as you drift into dreams, this clock keeps watch. It knows when to keep you deep in sleep, and when to lift you softly toward waking. It listens to the first signs of dawn, and prepares your body to greet it again. You don't need to think about any of this. Your body already knows how to listen. All you have to do is let the darkness guide you. Trust the calm that rises when the lights are gone. Now, as you rest, your inner clock begins its nightly work, soft, patient, steady. The night deepens around you. Time slows inside you. The mind hums quietly in the dark, counting not seconds but breaths. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Light is the first language of time. Every morning, when the soft glow of dawn rises from the edge of the earth, your body feels it, even before your eyes fully open. The pale light reaches through your eyelids, warm and quiet, whispering to your mind that a new day has begun. The world begins to breathe again. Shadows lift, colors awaken, and everything seems to remember its place in time. Sunlight moves gently, like a slow tide washing across the sky. At first, it's cool and silver, soft enough to touch. Then it deepens, turning gold, spreading warmth across walls, windows, and skin. The body feels this light as more than brightness. It feels it as rhythm. The brain listens to it like a song. Morning light tells the body to wake, to rise, to move with life again. As the day grows brighter, time seems to speed up. The warmth of sunlight feeds the mind, giving it energy and motion. Hours pass easily under its glow. Work, laughter, conversation, all carried by the bright pulse of the sun. The world moves fast in daylight, but never harshly. The sun is steady, patient, and alive, guiding every living thing with invisible threads of light. When afternoon begins to fade, the sunlight softens again. It becomes honey-colored, stretching long shadows over the earth. The warmth lingers but grows gentle, like a sigh at the end of a long song. The body senses this shift. Eyes grow tired, thoughts slow down. The golden light that once stirred you now soothes you. It tells your inner clock that the day is folding into evening. And then, quietly, the sun leaves. Its light slips beyond the horizon, and the sky takes a deep breath of blue. The world grows cooler, and the light transforms into something new, moonlight. Where sunlight brings movement, moonlight brings stillness. It does not command, it comforts. It does not awaken, it calms. Moonlight travels softly, gliding over everything with silver grace. It touches trees, rooftops, and sleeping fields, turning them into quiet shadows of themselves. It doesn't ask to be noticed. It waits, patient and eternal. The brain feels its presence in a different way, not as energy, but as peace. Moonlight tells the body that it's safe to stop, to rest, to dream. When the moon rises high, the air feels slower. The earth glows faintly under its light, and the boundaries of time seem to fade. The night no longer moves by minutes or hours. It moves by feelings. The stillness of the air, the distance between stars, the rhythm of your own breathing. Sometimes, when you look at the moon, you can almost feel the pull of time itself, slow, gentle, like an invisible tide brushing against your skin. It reminds you that even light has a rhythm. The sun wakes the world. The moon puts it to sleep. Both are parts of the same endless circle, one giving way to the other, again and again. As the moon begins to sink, its silver light fades into a faint shimmer. Stars remain for a moment longer, sparkling like scattered memories in the sky. Then, one by one, they too begin to dim. The black turns to deep blue, and the first whisper of morning light returns. This slow dance between sunlight and moonlight shapes every life on earth, even yours, as you lie here breathing softly. You are part of that rhythm. Your body listens to the same light the oceans follow, the same glow that guides the forests and birds. You rise and rest with the turning of the light, the gentle heartbeat of the world. Now the night outside your window is fading. The stars blink softly in the distance, and the darkness feels lighter than before. Whether it is sunrise or midnight, the light continues its quiet work, shaping time, shaping rest, shaping peace. Let your breath follow that same rhythm. Let your body move with the light, slower now, calmer now. The sun will rise again, the moon will return, and you will drift with them gently through their timeless glow. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Memory has its own way of bending time. When you look back on yesterday, it doesn't come as a list of minutes or hours. It returns as soft fragments, drifting quietly through your mind. The sun in a window, the echo of a laugh, the feeling of warmth that lingers even though the moment has long passed. Time in memory isn't straight. It folds, stretches, and fades, moving to the rhythm of emotion rather than the clock. Some memories come bright and alive, as if they happened only seconds ago. Others blur like colors washed by gentle rain. The brain doesn't store every detail. It keeps what the heart touched. That's why the days behind us begin to merge, the little moment becoming one long, peaceful stream. It's not loss. It's nature's way of softening the sharp edges of time. Think of how a single year can shrink into a few clear moments. A morning walk, a smile, the sound of rain on glass. Each of them carries more weight than hundreds of forgotten hours. Our sense of time and memory depends on how deeply we felt it. A quiet evening with someone we love can stretch forever in our minds. A busy day full of noise may vanish completely. The brain is gentle in this way. It doesn't need to keep everything. It knows that too much remembering would make the heart too heavy. So it blurs the edges, mixes moments, turns them into soft light. When you close your eyes, yesterday becomes a dream, not lost, but resting quietly in you. Sometimes you might wonder where the time has gone. The weeks feel short, the years seem to pass like clouds. But when you slow down, when you breathe softly and remember, you realize that every day has left something behind, not in your calendar, but in your soul. The laughter, the warmth, the lessons, the small kindnesses, they are still there, even if time has changed their shape. Memory has its own kind of peace. It teaches us that time is not something we lose, it's something we carry. The mind holds it like sand, letting it slip gently through open fingers, knowing that the grains that remain are enough. As you lie here, breathing slowly, you can feel how memory and rest begin to look alike. Both soften the sharp lines of the world. Both make time feel wide and still. In this calm, you can drift through moments of your own, not replaying them, but feeling their quiet presence. Yesterday's worries don't need to follow you. They are fading now, like ripples disappearing into a lake. The more you rest, the softer they become, until all that's left is calm water. The past does not pull. It hums softly beneath you, part of the rhythm of your rest. Time has always been kind when you allow it to be. It does not rush as you sleep. It stretches, breathes, and waits. Every memory becomes a small light flickering in the distance, gentle, steady, peaceful. Let those lights stay far away now. Let yesterday blend into the quiet of tonight. Your body is here, your mind is calm, and the moments that once felt hurried are slowing down inside you. The memory of yesterday is not a weight. It is a soft echo of all the life you've lived. It doesn't need to be clear or sharp, only warm, only gentle. Now the day behind you is melted completely into rest. The night is long, kind, and still. And somewhere between remembering and dreaming, time has once again become peaceful. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There are moments when time seems to slip away without warning. You look up, and hours have passed, yet it feels like only a few breaths ago. This is the illusion of speed, the gentle trick of the mind when joy or focus makes life feel light. When you are happy, your thoughts move like sunlight on water, quick and playful. The clock still moves the same way, but your heart does not notice. Think of laughter with friends, those moments when the world feels small and warm. The sound of voices blends together, and the air feels alive. You don't think about how long you've been there, or how late it's getting. You are simply present, living inside the bright rhythm of connection. In that space, time doesn't matter. It runs quietly in the background while you drift inside the glow of joy. The same happens when you are deeply focused, painting, reading, writing, or simply watching the world outside your window. The mind narrows its attention, and everything else fades away. Hours can vanish into what feels like a few calm minutes. The body forgets the passage of time because it is busy being alive. When happiness and focus merge, they create a kind of stillness inside motion. Like riding a bicycle down a quiet hill, the air moving past your face, the world rushing by, yet you feel slow inside, at peace, part of something larger. The outside moves fast, but inside, there's only flow. You might remember looking at the stars on a clear night. The sky seems still, but those stars are racing through space at unthinkable speeds. Their movement is invisible to your eyes, hidden behind the calm beauty of distance. That's how time feels when we are content. It is moving, but softly, quietly, with no rush at all. The brain measures time differently when it is full of light. When you are sad or anxious, it counts every second, holding on tightly. But when you are joyful, It lets go. The mind opens, and seconds stretch and vanish all at once. Scientists say this happens because our thoughts are no longer watching clock. We are absorbed in living. But it feels more like being carried, like floating through sunlight, where hours pass unnoticed and yet fully lived. There is something beautiful in how time behaves this way, gentle, forgiving, playful. It reminds you that not all speed is stress. Sometimes it's a sign of life moving in perfect harmony. When you lose track of time and joy, it means you are where you belong. The present moment has become wide enough to hold you completely. Think about a day that felt too short, maybe one spent by the sea, or walking through a city glowing with evening light. You remember the color of the sky, the sound of the air, the warmth of laughter. The day seemed to vanish too soon, yet it left behind something golden in your memory. That is the gift of time's illusion. It turns moments into treasures. Happiness compresses time not to steal it, but to protect it. It hides the minutes inside feelings so that we experience them more deeply. Every smile, every spark of connection, every breath of wonder, they stay within us even when the clock moves on. Even now, as you lie here in quiet, you can feel echoes of those moments. The warmth of a hand once held. The sound of rain outside while someone laughed beside you. These memories move like small lights in your mind, gentle reminders that joy bends time into beauty. And so, as you drift toward sleep, remember that time is not an enemy. It moves with you, shaping itself around the rhythm of your life. When you are calm, it slows. When you are joyful, it flies. Both are part of the same miracle, that the hours we love most are never truly lost. They remain within us, glowing softly, forever present. The night around you is quiet now. The stars are still out there, traveling through space, just as your thoughts drift through the calm sea of rest. The world continues to move, but you are safely still, floating inside this soft illusion of time. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Everything in nature moves slowly, almost silently, yet with purpose. Trees rise inch by inch toward the sky, their roots spreading deeper through the soil. Rivers flow without pause, curving through valleys that have taken centuries to form. Mountains grow and crumble, shaped by wind, rain, and time itself. Nothing in nature ever hurries, yet everything is always changing. When you look at a forest, it may seem still, but beneath the calm, life is quietly unfolding. Leaves turn sunlight into food, water travels up on the ground, and new buds prepare to open. The trees do not rush to grow. They listen to the rhythm of the seasons, trusting the sun to retain, the rain to fall, and the earth to keep turning. Their patience is their strength. The river, too, moves in slow grace. It never fights its path, it flows with it. Rocks do not stop it. They shape it. Every bend, every ripple, every shimmer of light on the surface is a moment of balance. Even as it moves forward, it never seems to hurry. It teaches us that motion can be calm, that progress can be peaceful. Mountains remind us of deep time, the kind that cannot be measured by clocks or calendars. They have watched the world change countless times, yet they remain, breathing in their own slow rhythm. The wind touches their peaks, the snow melts and returns, and the earth beneath them shifts softly. They are not frozen in time, they are simply unbothered by it. When you move through nature, when you stand among trees or watch clouds drift, your body begins to remember this slower rhythm. The mind grows quiet. The heart slows down. You begin to feel as though you, too, are part of something endless and calm. There's a kind of peace that comes from noticing how gently everything happens. The sun does not rise suddenly. It climbs the horizon step by step, painting the world in gold. Flowers do not bloom in a rush. They open slowly, petal by petal, the way the sky opens to morning. Even the night doesn't fall. It drifts softly, folding the world into rest. When we live too quickly, we forget this dance. We chase time instead of joining it. But when we slow down, when we match the rhythm of the wind, the waves, the trees, we stop measuring life in hours. We start to feel it instead. Imagine standing by a quiet riverbank. The water moves past you, endless but gentle. You watch the reflections ripple and fade. The air smells of earth and rain. The sound of the river is steady, patient. You realize that everything around you is alive and moving, but without any rush. It flows because it trusts where it's going. The same quiet motion lives inside you. Your breath is your river. Your heartbeat is your drum. Your thoughts are clouds moving across the open sky. When you notice this, time begins to soften. You no longer need to keep up. You are already part of the same slow dance that shapes the world. Every living thing shares this rhythm. The ocean tides, the flutter of a moth's wings, the turning of the moon. Even when we are still, we are dancing with them, breathing with the trees, sleeping with the stars, dreaming with the sea. Nature's patience is its gift to us. It shows us that there is no need to rush toward tomorrow. Everything comes in its own season. The river will reach the sea. The flower will open. The day will find its night. And so will you. As you lie here, your breath flowing softly in and out, you are part of that great rhythm. Slow, gentle, eternal. You don't need to chase time or worry where it goes. You only need to let it move through you, like sunlight through leaves, like wind through tall grass. Now the world outside your window is resting too. Trees sway slowly, rivers whisper, and the mountains dream. The night holds everything in perfect balance, still but alive, silent but full of breath. You belong to that stillness. You are part of nature's slow, endless dance. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Beneath the surface of the ocean, time moves differently. The world there feels quiet and weightless, untouched by the rush above. Light bends softly through the water, turning gold into blue, and blue into deep, endless shades of calm. Everything moves slower here. The fish, the waves, even the thoughts that drift through your mind. It's as if the sea itself breathes in long, gentle moments instead of seconds. When you imagine yourself sinking below the waves, the noise fades away. The sounds of the surface disappear until all that remains is a soft hum, like the heartbeat of the earth. You float, surrounded by the cool touch of water. Tiny bubbles rise from your breath and drift upward, shimmering in the dim light. They move so slowly that you can watch each one twist and vanish. Around you, fish glide in silence. Their fins move with a rhythm too calm to measure. They seem to float rather than swim, carried by the ocean's invisible current. Every motion feels effortless, peaceful, eternal. Schools of silverfish drift together like ribbons of light, turning and curving as one. It's not fast or slow, it's simply perfect. The water itself seems alive, holding you in a soft embrace. The deeper you go, the more the world slows. The sunlight above filters down in soft beams, shimmering like liquid glass. The light dances across the sand below, forming patterns that shift but never hurry. Even the shadows seem to rest. Down here, time does not tick or count. It flows the way waves do, smooth, circular, infinite. Minutes feel like hours, but not in a way that matters. There is no need to measure them. The ocean's rhythm is its own kind of clock, one that only knows the language of tides and breath. You might imagine coral gardens blooming quietly, swaying with the current. Soft seaweed rises and falls like sleeping hair. Shells rest on the ocean floor, their colors faded and gentle, shaped by years of patience. Nothing here has ever rushed to exist. Everything grows slowly, beautifully, without a single sound. Even the creatures that wander here move as if time has no hold on them. A turtle glides past, its motion so steady it feels eternal. A jellyfish drifts upward, glowing faintly, its tendrils curling and uncurling in rhythm with the pulse of the sea. It looks like a thought made of light, soft, round, and unhurried. You can feel the peace of this world seeping into you. The longer you stay, the slower your own breathing becomes. Your heartbeat sinks with the ocean's deep pulse. Every inhale feels like a wave moving toward the shore. Every exhale feels like it fading gently back into the depths. The deeper you drift, the quieter everything gets. Even light begins to soften until it feels like dusk underwater. The world around you becomes a dream of color, muted blues, soft greens, faint glimmers of silver. You can no longer tell how far or near anything is. Time has dissolved completely, leaving only peace. It is easy to forget the world above when you are here. There are no clocks, no noise, no rush, only the slow rhythm of life breathing beneath the sea. Every movement, every shimmer of light reminds you that stillness is not emptiness. It is life in its purest, calmest form. Imagine lying on the ocean floor, weightless, surrounded by this vast, sleeping world. The sand beneath you feels cool and steady. The water presses gently against your skin, not to hold you down, but to cradle you. Everything moves with such patience that even eternity feels like rest. You are floating now, part of the sea's slow heartbeat. The surface above is far away, but it doesn't matter. You are safe, you are calm, you are timeless. The ocean's rhythm holds you like a lullaby, deep, low, and endless. Now the light fades softly into blue. The bubbles have stopped rising. The sea is still, breathing slowly, waiting with you. The moment stretches wider than time itself. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Far beyond the soft blue sky, beyond the air and the clouds, the universe breathes its own quiet rhythm. It is not silent, though it sounds like silence. It hums in a deep, invisible way, a song made of time and light. Every star, every planet, every drifting piece of dust move within that great breath. Just as you fall asleep and wake again, so too does the universe. Everything in existence has its own kind of rest. When a star burns bright, it is alive in its own way. It shines with a warmth that can last billions of years, casting its light across the dark sea of space. But even stars grow tired. When their energy fades, they rest. Some dim softly, turning into quiet embers of light. Others fold in upon themselves, sleeping deeper than anything we can imagine. Yet nothing truly ends. It only changes form, waiting for its next awakening. This is the sleep of the universe, not stillness, but gentle transformation. Stars breathe, galaxies drift, planets spin slowly through the dark. Everything moves in slow, steady cycles, birth and death, light and shadow, motion and stillness. It is the same rhythm that lives inside you, the quiet rise and fall of breath, the beating of your heart, the endless loop of sleeping and waking. You are part of that cosmic rhythm, made from the same dust that once belonged to stars. When you close your eyes, you are joining that ancient pattern. The cells in your body rest, your mind cools, and the energy that carried you through the day begins to fade into calm. Just like a star cooling in the night, you glow a little softer, surrendering to peace. Sleep is not an ending. It is a return, a gentle pause in the great cycle of becoming. Imagine drifting through space, surrounded by stars in all stages of life. Some burn fiercely, others flicker faintly like candles at the edge of forever. Between them are the sleeping stars, vast and quiet, their light folded inward, waiting to shine again. They are not lost, they are resting. The universe allows even its brightest creations to pause. Nebulas, too, are part of this cosmic sleep. They are the dreams of old stars, great clouds of color and dust where new light begins to form. Within those clouds, something stays slowly, gathering warmth, preparing for another dawn. The universe never truly stops. It simply changes its pace. It rests and moves, like the tide, like breath, like you. Even galaxies drift like dreamers. They turn so slowly that it takes millions of years for one rotation, but to them, it feels like a sigh. The arms of stars and dust stretch out like cosmic rivers, glowing softly as they spin in their endless sleepwalk through eternity. Time flows differently there, so slow, so patient, that each moment feels like forever. If you could stand at the edge of space and listen, you might hear it, the quiet heartbeat of creation. It doesn't rush. It doesn't strain. It simply exists, pulsing in slow wave that ripple through everything that is. That rhythm connects all life, from the smallest breath you take to the birth of a new star. When you lie in bed at night, your body follows the same universal pattern. Your energy lowers, your mind drifts outward, and you begin to rest, just as the stars do. The darkness outside your window is not empty. It is full of sleeping light. Somewhere, a star is being born, and somewhere else, another is quietly fading. Each one dreams its own dream of existence. The universe is alive, but it also knows how to sleep. It teaches us that rest is not weakness, it is balance. Even creation itself must pause, must breathe, must wait before beginning again. As you drift deeper now, imagine that you are floating among those resting stars. Their light is soft and kind, wrapping around you like warmth that never fades. You are part of their story, their dust, their rhythm, their infinite calm. Everything in the universe moves in circles of waking and sleeping, burning and fading, beginning and returning. You are part of that eternal motion. You are stardust at rest, waiting for your next dawn. Now the stars above you dim a little, folding their light into silence. The galaxies slow their turn. The night grows deep and endless. And you, small, bright, infinite, rest within it, peaceful and whole. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Inside you, time does not tick, it beats. Every heartbeat is a soft echo of life moving forward, one gentle moment at a time. While a clock on the wall counts seconds with cold precision, your heart measures them with warmth. It doesn't tick or chime, it whispers. It keeps rhythm not for machines, but for you. Each beat is a reminder that you are here, alive, and connected to something greater than minutes or hours. If you listen closely, you can feel it, the quiet pulse beneath your skin, steady and sure. It isn't perfect, and it doesn't need to be. Sometimes it speeds up when you laugh, sometimes it slows when you rest. Unlike a clock, your heart has emotion. It responds to love, to fear, to calm. It changes its pace to match your life's melody. When you are peaceful, your heartbeat becomes like a lullaby, slow, gentle, and kind. The body understands rest, and the rhythm softens as if it knows it's safe. Every beat becomes longer, every pause between them wider. The spaces between heartbeats stretch like open fields, and within those spaces, the body begins to heal. Imagine lying in the dark, feeling your pulse slow beneath your fingertips. Each thump is soft and distant, as if coming from another world. It feels warm, alive, full of quiet strength. That sound is the music of rest, not measured by clock, but guided by breath and calm. In deep rest, even the smallest parts of you begin to follow this rhythm. Your breath flows slower, your muscles loosen, your thoughts drift like feathers. The body's natural clock, hidden within your heartbeat, resets itself. Every slow pulse tells your brain that it's time to let go. It's time to stop chasing, to stop counting, to simply be. Clocks move in circles, your heart moves in waves. Each wave carries your life forward in silence. The ticking of a clock may tell you how long a moment lasts, but your heart tells you how deeply you are living it. The slower it beats, the wider time feels. The faster it races, the shorter life seems. That is why calm feels eternal, because a heart learns to stretch time with stillness. Think of how the world feels during deep sleep. The air is still, the night hums softly, and everything seems to pause. Your heartbeat becomes a quiet drum of the night, steady but slow, blending into the silence. Even the earth, spinning beneath you, seems to match your rhythm. The heart is not a clock that will one day stop. It is a lantern that glows quietly while you rest. Its rhythm marks not the passing of time, but the gift of it. With each slow beat, your body finds balance. With each breath, it reminds you that living gently is enough. Now, as you breathe softly, imagine your heartbeat as a universe's pulse, vast and timeless, but close enough to feel. Let it guide you deeper into stillness. The spaces between beats grow longer, wider, more peaceful. You are no longer counting time. You are floating within it. The clock outside keeps ticking. But here, inside your chest, time has slowed to something beautiful, a rhythm of peace, steady and alive. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. The earth is never truly still. Even as you lie here in the quiet, it moves, turning softly beneath you, spinning through space with a patience that feels infinite. The air above it swirls and sighs, oceans rise and fall, mountains breathe through the slow shifting of stone. Every part of this planet moves in gentle rhythm. Day becomes night, night becomes day. The world inhales and exhales in long, slow cycles. Time, you realize, is simply the sound of the earth breathing. If you could watch the planet from far away, you would see its soft rotation, turning once every 24 hours without ever rushing. Sunlight glides slowly across its surface, waking oceans, forests, and cities in waves of gold. Then it drifts away again, leaving everything wrapped in cool blue shadow. This is a heartbeat of our world, a steady rhythm that never breaks. The tides follow this breath. The moon pulls the ocean gently, drawing the water upward and then letting it fall. Waves roll toward the shore like calm exhalations. They never hurry, never stop. They simply follow the same quiet pattern they always have. With each tide, the earth reminds us that motion can be peaceful, that repetition is not monotony but comfort. The winds, too, are part of this rhythm. They wander through valleys and across deserts, carrying warmth and coolness in turns. They whisper through trees, glide across fields, and stir the surface of the sea. Even storms, though wild and powerful, are part of this great balance, the earth releasing energy so it can rest again. When you listen closely at night, you might feel it, the slow pulse beneath your feet, the deep hum of the planet turning. You don't have to measure it or name it. You only need to feel how it holds you. Everything you know, the air, the ground, the water, the life, moves together in a single, endless breath. Your own body follows the same rhythm. When you breathe slowly, you are breathing with the earth. When your heartbeat steadies, you are joining its cycle. The space between your breaths mirrors the space between day and night. You are not separate from the world. You are made of it. Think of the morning light sliding over mountains, how it takes its time to reach every corner of the world. Think of the slow cooling of the air after sunset, the quiet arrival of stars. These are the pauses in the planet's breath, long, soft moments where everything waits, suspended between movement and stillness. The more you slow down, the more you can feel this rhythm. Time begins to stretch, just as a planet's motion does. Smooth, circular, eternal. There is no beginning or end, only the flow of cycles repeating in peace. The world is not hurrying toward tomorrow. It is simply living in balance with itself. Now, as you lie still, imagine that you are resting on the chest of the earth itself. You can feel it rise and fall beneath you, one slow breath after another. The air moves in and out of your lungs, perfectly in tune. You and the world are breathing together. The wind outside sighs, the oceans turn in their sleep, and the stars watch quietly. Everything is in motion, yet everything is calm. The planet spins beneath the night sky, slow and certain, carrying you gently through time. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There are moments in life when time seems to dissolve completely. You stop counting minutes. You stop thinking about what comes next. The world grows quiet, and you simply exist, soft, still, endless. It can happen anywhere, in meditation, in love, in silence. In those moments, time no longer feels like something passing by. It becomes something wide and infinite, like a calm sea stretching forever under a gentle sky. When you close your eyes and breathe slowly, you begin to feel this vastness. Each breath opens a door, and behind that door there is no ticking clock, no calendar, no rush. There is only peace, deep, patient, endless. The body forgets how to measure time. The mind forgets how to separate past and future. You are left only with a soft pulse of now. During meditation, this feeling grows like dawn rising behind your eyelids. Thoughts come and go, but they don't stay long enough to matter. The mind becomes clear water, reflecting light without holding it. You drift somewhere between thinking and dreaming, not asleep, not awake, just present. Minutes stretch wide, unmeasured, as if eternity has decided to rest inside you. In love, time bends in another way. When you are near someone you care for deeply, a single glance can feel like forever. A moment of warmth, a quiet touch, the sound of shared laughter, these small things seem to stop the world. You lose the sense of hours moving. There is no before, no after, only the brightness of now. Love expands time not with duration, but with depth. Stillness does the same. When the world around you falls silent, when you watch snow drift outside a window or sit under the fading light of evening, something inside you loosens. The noise of thought fades, replaced by a simple awareness of being here. You are not doing anything, and yet everything feels full. The stillness stretches, and time disappears into like a drop of rain into the sea. The illusion of infinity is not a trick. It is a natural rhythm of the mind when it finally rests. Time feels long when we are waiting, but it feels endless when we surrender. That surrender is peace, the kind that comes when you stop trying to hold on to anything. The body, the breath, the earth beneath you all move together in quiet harmony. You might remember a moment like this, sitting beneath the stars, feeling the cool air against your skin. You weren't counting the minutes then. You were simply part of the night. The skies stretched wide above you, and for a while, it felt as if it would never end. That was infinity, not measured in length, but in calm. As you lie here now, the same feeling grows around you. The air feels still, the seconds have softened, and nothing asks for your attention. The world has slowed to your rhythm. The more you relax, the wider time feels, until it no longer feels like time at all, just space, soft and endless, holding you gently. There is no need to grasp at the moment. It is already infinite. You are not inside time. Time is inside you, flowing quietly, warm and kind. Now the body feels lighter. The mind feels open. The night around you is deep and safe. You are floating in that quiet infinity, where nothing begins and nothing ends. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There are moments when the mind lets go of time completely, not because it disappears, but because it no longer matters. The brain has a quiet ability, when it feels safe, when it feels calm, to turn off the sense of time altogether. It stops counting, stops measuring, stops comparing one moment to the next. What remains is peace, a space so wide and gentle that it feels endless. This happens naturally, often without you noticing. When you sit in stillness, or lie in warmth, or close your eyes and drift, the part of the brain that keeps track of time begins to rest. Scientists call it the temporal awareness system, but you don't need to remember that. All you need to know is that your mind has its own clock, and that clock can sleep. When it does, the world feels softer, slower, boundless. Imagine your mind as an ocean. When you are busy or worried, the surface is rough, waves rise and fall quickly, thoughts crash against each other. You can see movement everywhere. But when you relax, the surface calms. The water smooths out. The edges dissolve into the horizon, and you can no longer tell where the ocean ends and the sky begins. That is what timelessness feels like inside you, a calm sea without boundaries. The more you relax, the more the brain begins to drift. It stops marking seconds, because nothing urgent needs to happen. The parts of you that used to count, the small internal clock that watches the hands of time, quietly shuts down, like a light dimming at the end of the day. You are still aware, but in a different way. Not alert, not distant, simply floating. You might have felt this before while staring at something beautiful. The slow glow of a sunset, the way shadows shift on a wall, the steady rhythm of rain. For a few moments, you forgot to think about what came next. You forgot to look at the time. The brain slipped into a quiet state of timeless awareness, where you were fully present, yet completely free from the ticking of thought. This is why rest feels longer than it really is, and why a peaceful minute can hold the weight of an hour. When the brain releases its grip on time, it begins to move at the rhythm of your breath instead. Each inhale becomes a wave rising, each exhale a wave falling. The body, the breath, and the mind move together in a gentle current. The edges of time soften here. Past and future stop pulling at you. You stop wondering what happened or what will happen next. You live inside one wide, shimmering moment, not trapped in it, but floating through it. This is a mind's natural peace, a place it knows how to find when given the chance. Think of it like the space between heartbeats, that tiny pause that feels invisible but holds everything. It's not absence, it's balance. The brain rests there too, between thought and silence, between being and dreaming. Time has no meaning in that space. It just breathes. When you fall into this timelessness, you don't lose yourself. You find yourself more fully. Without the rush of minutes, you feel your own presence more clearly. The mind becomes wide like the sea, soft like dusk, endless like the sky. There are no edges, no clocks, no need to return anywhere. You are already home inside the stillness. Even sleep follows this pattern. When you drift into dreams, the sense of time fades away completely. You may dream for hours but wake feeling as if only a few moments have passed. The brain knows how to move between time and no time, how to let you float in the deep ocean of rest. Now, as you breathe softly, imagine your mind is that quiet ocean again. The waves are small and even. The horizon is wide and silver. You are floating in its calm, the water holding you gently. There is no before, no after, only this moment, this breath, this peace. The brain has turned off its clocks now. The seconds no longer matter. You are drifting in the soft ocean of timelessness, safe, quiet, infinite. The world is still turning, but you are free from its rush. You are resting in the deep rhythm of being, where everything is slow, open, and endless. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. In dreams, time loses its shape completely. The moments no longer line up in straight lines. They bend, overlap, dissolve. A dream can carry you from childhood to tomorrow in the blink of an eye. One scene melts into another, and the mind doesn't question how it happens. It accepts the flow, soft, endless, and full of meaning. In this quiet space, time behaves like water, slipping through your fingers but leaving warmth behind. When you dream, your mind becomes a gentle storyteller. It takes small pieces of memory, feelings, and imagination, and weaves them together into a world that feels both real and unreal. You may find yourself walking through a place you've never seen, but somehow you know it well. You might speak to someone you miss, and it feels natural even though they are far away. Dreams do not follow clocks, they follow emotion. The stronger the feeling, the slower or faster the dream seems to move. In a dream, hours can pass in seconds. You may live through entire journeys, walking through forests, flying above oceans, standing under endless skies, and yet when you wake, only a few minutes have gone by. The brain, resting deeply, no longer tracks time the way it does when awake. It allows imagination to stretch and fold the hours into whatever shape feels right. The flow of dreams is like watching a soft, endless movie, one that fades and reforms without warning. One moment you are standing in sunlight, and in the next, you are underwater, breathing easily. There are no cuts or transitions. The mind drifts from one image to the next, guided by something quieter than logic, something like music. This dream music is made of memory. The mind takes pieces of your day, a sound, a color, a feeling, and weaves them into something new. The laugh of a friend might become the echo of the wind. The warmth of sunlight might become a golden room. Nothing in dreams is wasted. Everything has been touched by you before, reshaped by the soft current of sleep. Dreams also move by emotion, not order. When you feel peace, they slow down. When you feel wonder, they expand. When you feel fear or confusion, they move quickly, changing shape to carry you somewhere safer. The dream listens to you. It knows when to rest and when to run. Sometimes dreams make time move backward. You may see someone long gone or relive a moment from long ago. But it doesn't feel like the past. It feels like now. In the dream world, time folds neatly over itself, every memory, every hope, every echo living side by side. The brain does not care about sequence or distance. It paints with feeling, not numbers. You might notice how soft everything feels inside a dream. The air is slower. The colors glow differently. Even sound seems to float. It's as if the world itself has been wrapped in water and light. This gentleness is a language of sleep, the way the mind protects itself as it heals and restores. Dreams are also how the brain practices letting go. Each night, as you sink deeper into sleep, the mind releases its grip on control. It begins to wander freely, touching every thought, memory, and story with quiet curiosity. In this freedom, it learns to breathe again. It remembers that time is not a cage but a river, and that every drop of experience flows back into peace. The flow of dreams never truly ends. Even when you wake, their rhythm lingers for a moment, that soft confusion where you're not sure if you're still dreaming or awake. The feeling fades slowly, but the calm remains. The mind, still half in its dream ocean, brings back a little piece of timelessness with it. Now, as you rest, imagine that you are drifting inside that river of dreams. The current is slow and kind. Images pass you by like reflections in the water, some familiar, some new, all peaceful. You don't need to reach for them. You only need to float, to trust a current that knows exactly where to carry you. Somewhere, your dreams are already forming, pieces of memory, light, and calm waiting to meet you. Let them come. Let them move how they wish. Let time fade softly away until only peace remains. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Soft music is a way of changing the shape of time. When a gentle melody begins to play, the world seems to move differently. The second becomes slower, smoother, stretched out like waves gliding toward the shore. The sound carries you somewhere beyond clocks or calendars, into a place where time listens rather than counts. Each note lingers in the air a little longer than it should, and in that lingering, time expands. The rhythm of a lullaby, slow and tender, moves like a heartbeat half asleep. The spaces between the notes are wide and calm, allowing you to breathe deeper, slower. The body begins to follow the music, matching its pace, syncing breath to sound, heart to melody. Music is one of the oldest languages the mind understands. Even before words, it knew rhythm. The steady beat of a drum, the rise and fall of a voice, the soft hum that comforts. Somewhere deep inside, your heart still remembers that ancient rhythm. It listens to the gentle pulse of sound and feels safe again. When you listen to soft music in the quiet of night, it feels as though time stops moving forward and begins to sway instead. The notes become the seconds, the melody becomes the hour, and everything inside you slows to match its calm. The heartbeat softens, the breath steadies, the mind begins to wander through warm corridors of sound. Imagine a simple lullaby playing, the kind you might hum without thinking. The melody flows gently, wrapping around you like silk. It doesn't rush or demand. It simply repeats, softly, patiently, until the body learns to rest. You can feel your heartbeat following it, slowing with every measure. It's not just sound, it's a kind of touch, a reminder that even in stillness, there's motion, and in motion, there can be peace. The beauty of music is that it measures time and emotion, not numbers. 1 minute of soft piano can feel like a lifetime of comfort. A single sustained note can open a space wide enough for peace to fill. It teaches a mind to listen differently, not to what happens next, but to what is happening now. Sometimes the most soothing part of music isn't the sound at all, but the silence between the notes. That pause, that brief quiet, feels like a breath. The music inhales and exhales, just like you. You are breathing with it, together, slowly, endlessly. Underneath the melody, there's always rhythm, the soft, steady pulse that feels like the heart of the song. It's not unlike your own heartbeat, echoing gently inside your chest. When the two find each other, the body relaxes. The heart feels seen, matched, understood. It no longer races, it rests. As the music plays, thoughts begin to fade. The mind no longer needs to name or explain. It just floats through the melody like a leaf on calm water. The sound fills the air, then fades, then returns again. A cycle as ancient as breathing, as natural as the turning of the earth. Time bends to music. It slows for beauty, stretches for emotion, pauses for peace. The more you listen, the more it feels like the world itself is rocking you to sleep. Now the song has grown softer, almost silent, but it still moves through you. You can feel its rhythm in your heartbeat, its flow in your breath. The music becomes part of you, gentle, endless, kind. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Time is a mirror, always reflecting what lies within the mind. When you feel calm, time feels calm too. When your thoughts move quickly, the hours seem to race. The world outside doesn't change. It's a reflection that shifts, shaped by the light inside you. The smoother the surface of your thoughts, the clearer and gentler time becomes. Imagine a quiet lake at dawn. The water is still, and everything above it, the trees, the clouds, the rising light, appears perfectly mirrored on its surface. The moment feels endless because nothing is disturbed. But the smallest ripple, even a breath of wind, breaks that reflection. The image trembles, bends, and wavers. Time feels the same way inside us. When the mind is still, it reflects a world with softness and grace. When the mind is restless, time ripples and loses shape. Your thoughts are like pebbles dropped into that lake. A single worry sends circles through the water, spreading wider and wider until the calm disappears. But when you rest, when you stop throwing stones, the surface clears again. You begin to see everything, your life, your memories, this very moment, reflected with quiet beauty. The truth is, time outside of you is steady. The seconds pass the same for everyone. But the time you feel, the time that lives inside you, bends and moves like light in water. When your heart is peaceful, a minute feels wide enough to hold eternity. When your heart is anxious, hours feel too small to breathe in. A calm mind creates calm time. It slows the world without effort. The breath deepens, the pulse softens, and suddenly the minutes seem to expand. You begin to notice small things again, the whisper of wind, the pattern of light on the wall, the soft hum of silence. The mirror of the mind clears, and time reflects only peace. Think of the way the world looks after rain, the ground wet and glimmering, every puddle holding the sky. The reflection shimmers softly, and for a moment, everything feels doubled, the earth and the heavens touching each other. That's what it feels like when the mind becomes clear. Time reflects itself gently back at you. You see that you were never chasing it. You were simply looking through a cloudy mirror. You don't have to force calmness. It comes naturally when you stop stirring the water. When thoughts slow, emotions settle, and breath finds its rhythm, the surface of the mind evens out on its own. You can almost hear time breathing again, slow, kind, alive. Close your eyes and picture your mind as that still lake. The ripples are fading now. The water is smooth. Every heartbeat sends a soft shimmer across the surface. The reflection that looks back at you is peaceful, steady, whole. You are not separate from time. You are part of its reflection. When you move gently, time moves gently with you. When you rest, time rests too. It's not an enemy, not a river rushing past, but a mirror showing you your own rhythm. You don't need to chase it or hold it. You only need to breathe and watch the surface shine. Now everything is calm again. The mind, the breath, the quiet lake of thought. Time reflects only stillness now, smooth and endless, a mirror made of light and peace. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Inside each of us, there's a quiet clock that doesn't tick or chime but guides every moment of our lives. It lives deep within the body, listening to light, darkness, warmth, and rest. This hidden clock tells us when to wake and when to sleep, when to eat, move, and dream. It is not made of numbers or hands. It is made of rhythm, of balance, of the steady harmony between day and night. When morning light touches your eyes, the clock stays. Even through closed lids, your body feels a brightness. The brain takes that soft signal from the light and begins to wake you gently. It tells your body to warm up, your mind to open, your heart to beat a little faster. Hormones rise. Energy begins to flow, and the day quietly begins inside you long before you move. This rhythm is called a circadian rhythm, a natural cycle that every living thing follows. Plants lift their leaves to meet the sun. Birds start to sing when the first rays of light appear. Even flowers open and close in time with the earth turning. You are part of that same dance, guided not by the ticking of a clock but by the whisper of light and dark. As the day unfolds, the clock within you keeps time with the sun. It helps your body know when to stay late, when to eat, when to move, and when to begin slowing down. And when evening comes, it starts to change its tone, like a song fading softly at the end of the day. The light fades, and the clock listens again, waiting for darkness to guide it toward rest. When the sky darkens, your body begins to release melatonin, a gentle messenger that tells you it's time to rest. Your temperature lowers just a little, your heartbeat softens, your eyes grow heavier. It's not just tiredness, it's a natural rhythm of the earth whispering through you. The world quiets, and so do you. Even when you think you are still, your inner clock keeps working. It knows when to repair, when to dream, when to help the body heal. During sleep, this rhythm continues, washing the mind clean of noise, restoring balance to everything inside you. The clock resets, preparing to begin again when the first light returns. Think of it as a partnership between you and the planet. The earth turns, the light changes, and your body listens. Each day, you move together, spinning gently through time, resting when the world rests, waking when it awakens. You are never separate from this pattern. You are made of it. When life becomes busy, when nights are too bright and days too short, the body's clock can lose its rhythm. That's why peace feels so healing. When you let yourself rest in darkness, breathe in quiet, and sleep deeply, the clock finds its beat again. It begins to sing in time with the world, slow and steady, calm and sure. Right now, as you lie here, your hidden clock is still listening to the night. It feels the darkness, the coolness, the still air, and it begins to soothe you. The body is settling into its rhythm, one that has existed since the beginning of life. You don't need to do anything. The rhythm will carry you. You are in tune with the earth, with its light, its shadow, its gentle turning. Time is moving through you as softly as breath, guiding you toward rest. The hidden clock is quiet now, content aligned with the night. Everything inside you is slowing down. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There are moments in life when time seems to hold its breath. The world grows quiet, and everything inside and around you becomes still. You can almost feel the air pausing, the heartbeat of the earth slowing. These are the moments when time stands still, not because it has stopped, but because it has become perfectly balanced, calm, and complete. Imagine standing by a window while snow begins to fall. The flakes drift slowly through the air, turning the world soft and white. The sound fades, the sky glows pale, and everything seems suspended. You watch the snowflakes move, each one taking its time to reach the ground. They don't rush. They don't compete. They just fall, peacefully, in their own rhythm. In that quiet, you stop counting minutes. You stop thinking about anything at all. The only thing that exists is a slow dance of snow. Or think of a single candle burning in a dark room. The flame sways gently, golden light shimmering against the walls. It flickers and bends, but never hurries. The wax melts in its own time. The air moves softly, and for a moment, you can feel how still the world truly is. The clock might still be ticking somewhere far away, but here, the light and the silence have replaced it. Even a quiet room can make time pause. When you sit alone in a space without sound, no voices, no footsteps, no rush, you begin to hear something else, your own breathing, slow and steady. The heartbeat that was hidden beneath noise becomes clear again. You realize that stillness is not empty. It's full of quiet life. It's full of the sound of time resting. When time stands still, the smallest details become bright. The way the light moves through a curtain. The way dust floats gently in a beam of sun. The soft crackle of wood in the fireplace. Every sound, every shimmer feels endless. You are no longer moving through time. You are resting inside it. These moments of stillness are gifts. They remind you that peace doesn't come from doing more, but from noticing what is already here. The snowfall, the candlelight, the silence, they are not pauses from life. They are life, slowed to a perfect rhythm. The body reacts to these moments too. The heartbeat slows, the breath deepens, the mind stops racing. You can feel yourself aligning with the world's calm pace. Everything seems to move together. The air, your breath, the faint flicker of light. It feels like the universe has leaned closer, asking you to be still with it for just a little while. You might remember a moment like this, watching rain slide down glass, or sitting by the ocean as the waves moved in slow rhythm. You weren't waiting for anything. You weren't thinking about tomorrow. You were simply there, completely present. Those moments stay with you because they hold a feeling of timelessness, the quiet truth that life doesn't need to rush to be full. Even now, as you rest, you can feel that same stillness settling in. The room around you feels softer. The air feels heavier, but kind. Each breath moves gently in and out, and for a moment, time doesn't move forward or back. It just is. You are part of this stillness. The same calm that fills the falling snow, the glowing candle, the quiet room, is filling you now. You don't have to hold it. You only need to rest inside it. The world can move when it wishes. You are safe in the pause. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Memory moves like falling leaves, light, quiet, and never in a hurry. Each one drifts through the air before landing softly somewhere inside you. Time and memory are woven together like branches and wind. One shapes the other, always moving, always changing. Yet when you rest, when your breath slows and the world grows gentle, memory begins to settle. The noise fades, and what remains is peace. The mind carries so many moments, flashes of sound, faces, voices, sunlight on old days. They live within you, scattered like stars across your inner sky. Some memories are sharp and bright, others are faint, like distant constellations barely glowing. Together, they form the quiet story of who you are. But when you relax, that story softens. The lines between the memories begin to blur. The mind no longer holds them tightly. It lets them drift and mix, like watercolor spreading on paper. The sharp edges fade, and what remains is a feeling beneath them, the comfort, the warmth, the simple truth that you have lived and loved and seen. Think of how it feels to remember a calm day from long ago, maybe sunlight through an open window, the sound of rain, or someone's voice laughing nearby. You might not recall every detail, but you remember the feeling. The memory itself has melted into something simpler, gentler, just a trace of peace that still lingers. That's how time transforms what we keep. When we hold too tightly to memory, it can feel heavy. But in stillness, the weight begins to lift. Time has a way of washing memories clean, leaving behind only what soothes the heart. The mind, in its rest, decides what to keep and what to let go. And it always chooses comfort. In this way, time is not something that takes, it is something that heals. It moves through the corridors of your thoughts, closing old doors softly, polishing what remains with light. The more you rest, the gentler it becomes. The memories that once stirred ache or longing begin to glow quietly, no longer sharp, only kind. As you drift toward sleep, you can almost feel this process happening inside you. The mind sorts through the day, not in words, not in pictures, but in soft sensations. The laughter remains, the warmth remains, the calm moments remain. Everything else fades like mist in the morning sun. Memory does not vanish, it transforms. It turns into peace. The echoes of yesterday dissolve into the rhythm of your breath. The stories you've lived become part of the stillness that holds you now. In that stillness, there is no need to remember or forget, only to feel safe. Sometimes, just before sleep, small fragments return, a place, a sound, a smile. They visit quietly, not to disturb you, but to remind you that every moment you've lived is still inside you, resting peacefully. The mind is not replaying them, it's thanking them before letting them go. Now, as your breathing deepens, those memories fall like leaves at the end of autumn, one by one, soft and golden, settling into silence. Time slows. Thought fades. What remains is a comfort of everything you've ever loved, or resting gently in your chest. You are not losing the past. You are blending with it, becoming part of the same quiet flow that carries all things forward. The heart remembers only what feels warm. The rest drifts away, kind and unhurried. Now the air feels heavy and calm. The night has folded itself around you, holding all your memories like feathers. You are safe in the soft fall of time, where nothing hurts, nothing rushes, and nothing is lost. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. The sound of rain has its own way of keeping time. It falls in a rhythm that is neither fast nor slow, just steady, patient, eternal. Each drop is like the gentle tick of a clock, but softer, more forgiving. It doesn't count the seconds, it soothes them. The rain measures time not in minutes, but in feelings, in quiet, in calm, in the peace that comes when everything else fades away. When you listen to rain, you can feel the world slowing down. The air thickens with softness, and even thoughts begin to move at its pace. It's as if the sky is breathing, exhaling drop after drop, creating a sound that comforts without trying. The tapping against the window or the roof becomes a lullaby, simple, repeating, endless. Unlike the ticking of a clock, rain never feels sharp. Its rhythm bends and changes with the wind, with the shape of the earth, with the pulse of the storm. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it hums, but always it flows. It reminds you that time does not need to be perfect to be beautiful. It only needs to move gently forward, one drop at a time. If you close your eyes, you can hear how the rain fills the silence. Each drop lands with purpose, yet without hurry. Together, they create a soft pattern, a rhythm older than words. You can almost imagine the earth listening, waiting, absorbing every drop. The soil drinks, the trees sigh, and the world settles into balance. There is something healing in the repetition. The brain, so used to noise and urgency, begins to slow its pace to match the rains. The heartbeat softens, the breath deepens, and time stretches into something wider, more forgiving. The steady patter becomes a reminder that you don't have to rush, that every sound, every moment, arrives right when it should. Rain also carries silence between its notes. Between one drop and the next, there's space, small pauses that hold peace. Those pauses are where stillness lives. The world is not trying to fill the silence, it's sharing it. The rhythm of rain and the quiet between it become one, a soft, perfect balance of sound and space. You might remember moments when you listened to rain for a long time, not doing anything, not needing anything. The sky was gray, the world washed clean, and you felt as if time had stopped. In truth, it hadn't stopped at all. It had only become soft enough to rest within. The rain was marking time for you, counting not seconds but heartbeats. Every storm is a slow clock. The clouds gather, the drops begin, and the world listens until the sound fades into silence again. It's a reminder that every cycle ends, and every end carries peace. When the rain stops, the air smells new. The earth shines. Time has passed, but gently, kindly, without demand. As you rest now, imagine that the rain is falling outside your window, light and steady, never hurried. Each drop a heartbeat, each sound a soft echo of the world breathing. The rhythm surrounds you, wrapping you in calm. You don't need to count. You don't need to measure. You are simply here, inside the music of the moment. The rain keeps falling, and with it, your thoughts begin to fade. The sound becomes part of your breath, your heartbeat, your stillness. The world outside is calm, the sky is open, and time has slowed to the pace of water meeting earth. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Above us, the stars move slowly, so slowly that we cannot see them move at all. To the eye, they seem fixed, eternal, glowing gently in the same positions night after night. But if you could watch them for 1,000 years, you would see them drift across the sky like travelers crossing a silent sea. Their journey is vast and patient, unfolding so gradually that it feels like stillness. The stars remind us that real time is calm, not something to chase but something to rest within. When you lie beneath the night sky, you are watching ancient light. Every sparkle, every distant shimmer began its journey long before you were born. The light that touches your eyes tonight left its star hundreds or even thousands of years ago, crossing the emptiness of space to arrive in this exact moment. That light has been traveling longer than any heartbeat, longer than any thought, and yet it feels soft, quiet, gentle. This is a language of the universe, slow, silent, steady. The stars turn above us as the earth spins beneath, but their movement is too vast for our senses to catch. They glide across time like whispers in the dark, patient and eternal. While we count hours and days, the stars count in centuries and ages. To them, the rush of human life must look like the flicker of a candle in the wind. And still, they shine, always, endlessly, with no sense of hurry. If you sit outside on a clear night and look long enough, you may begin to feel their rhythm. The sky doesn't stay still, it breathes. The constellations drift slowly, the moon glides past, the earth turns gently under your feet. Nothing stops, yet nothing feels rushed. It is a kind of motion that invites peace, the kind that teaches patience without a single word. Think of how calm the night feels when you step outside, away from the noise. The air is cooler, the sound softer. Somewhere in that darkness, the stars are turning, invisible movement wrapped in silence. You can't see it, but you can sense it. The same way you can sense your own heartbeat slowing, your breath deepening. The same way you can feel time stretch out, wide and kind. The stars remind us that not all progress is visible. Even when nothing seems to move, everything is still becoming. A single star might shift the width of a leaf in a lifetime, but across the endless sky, those tiny shifts create new constellations, new stories. Time doesn't need to hurry to make change. It only needs to move with quiet purpose, the way the stars do. In the old days, sailors used the stars to guide their journeys. They trusted their stillness, knowing that, even if the stars were moving, their movement was too slow to disturb direction. That steadiness gave the world meaning. Even now, when we look up, we feel it, the reassurance that somewhere something is steady, glowing, patient. When we rush, we lose that connection. But when we stop, when we look up and let the night fill our eyes, we return to the natural rhythm of existence. The stars become teachers. They show us that time isn't a race, but a vast ocean where everything flows together. They show us that calm is not emptiness, but power. If you close your eyes now, you can imagine those stars above you, small points of gentle fire, watching over the earth. Their light is older than memory, older than fear, older than thought. You can feel their calm reaching you through the distance, steady and sure. The same light that once touched the oceans, the mountains, the faces of those long gone, now rests softly on your skin. The stars are moving, but so slowly that they appear still, just as your breath moves, though it feels quiet, or your heart beats, though it feels calm. Time is always in motion, but when we let it slow inside us, it becomes peace. Now, the night sky has settled fully. The stars shimmer faintly in their places, patient as ever. You are lying beneath them, part of their rhythm, part of their stillness. The world spins, the constellations drift, and time continues its soft, invisible dance. You don't need to follow it. You only need to feel it, vast, kind, and timeless. The same stars that have watched every dawn are watching over you now. They are not in a hurry. Neither are you. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Between every second, there is silence. You cannot see it, and you cannot hear it, but it's there, a soft, invisible pause that holds a world together. Every heartbeat, every breath, every ticking clock moves through it. The universe, even in its motion, lives in that stillness. Between the moments when something happens, there's always a space where nothing does, and that is where rest begins. Think of time not as a line, but as a rhythm. Each second is like a note in a song, and between those notes lies a quiet pause. Without that pause, the music would be chaos. It's the silence between sounds that makes a melody beautiful. The same is true of life. We move from one heartbeat to the next, one thought to another, one breath to the next, and between them, the stillness waits, patient and kind. The mind, too, breathes this way. Even when it seems full of noise, tiny moments of calm are hiding within it. Between one thought and the next, there is a small space, so brief it feels invisible. But if you listen closely, you can find it. That is a space between seconds, where awareness rests and peace begins to bloom. Science tells us that time moves in constant flow, yet our perception of it depends on how we feel. When we are calm, time stretches. When we are tense, it contracts. But no matter how we feel it, the pauses remain. The micro moments between movements, the gentle gaps between pulses. The body understands these spaces instinctively. The heart doesn't beat endlessly. It pauses after every pulse. The lungs don't draw air forever. They rest between each breath. The earth itself turns in cycles of light and dark, motion and stillness. Every living thing dances with its own pauses. You can feel this rhythm when you are quiet. When you sit in stillness, the noise inside you begins to slow, and the spaces between thoughts grow wider. The seconds no longer push against each other. They open like small doors, revealing soft light within. That is where the mind finds its peace, in the empty space that isn't empty at all, but full of rest. Imagine yourself floating in time, surrounded by seconds that drift like gentle bubbles. Each one glows for a moment and then fades, leaving a brief silence before the next arrives. That silence is eternity in miniature, a pause that connects one moment to another, like pearls strung on an invisible thread. You are not separate from this rhythm. You are part of it. When you breathe, notice how each inhale holds a small hesitation before the exhale begins. That is the body's version of the space between seconds, the pause where the world holds still, waiting, listening. It's a reminder that rest doesn't only come from stopping, it comes from balance. Action and stillness, sound and silence, time and the absence of time, all of it creates a harmony that keeps you alive. The space between seconds is where awareness lives. When you notice it, even for an instant, the noise of the world fades. You begin to sense that you are not running through time but resting inside it. The present moment expands, the way a ripple spreads through calm water. There is no rush, no counting, no need to measure anything. You are simply here, floating within the gentle pauses that carry everything forward. Even the stars above follow this pattern. Their light travels for ages, crossing the quiet spaces between particles, between atoms, between galaxies. Every beam of light moves through silence. The universe itself is built from stillness, more emptiness than matter, more pause than sound. It is within those pauses that creation begins. Right now, as you breathe, you are moving through those spaces too. Between one heartbeat and the next, there is peace. Between one breath and another, there is rest. Between one thought and the next, there is freedom. You don't need to reach for these moments. They are already here, scattered gently through every second of your life. All you have to do is notice them, the spaces that time leaves open for you to rest inside. Let the world keep turning. Let the seconds keep falling. You are safe in the pauses, where time opens its hands and lets you breathe. The space between seconds belongs to you, a quiet home within the endless rhythm of the universe. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. Sometimes, one calm moment feels larger than an hour. It expands quietly, stretching wide like the horizon at dusk. The air feels heavy with peace, the body softens, and the mind forgets to move forward. You are not in the past or the future. You are inside the stillness of now, and somehow it feels infinite. Imagine sitting in a room lit only by candlelight. The flame wavers softly, breathing with the air. It flickers, bends, and glows again, painting slow shadows on the walls. The clock still ticks somewhere beyond the light, but its sound fades under the hum of calm. Time has slowed to match the rhythm of your heartbeat. You breathe in the warm air, and for a moment, the world holds its breath with you. A soft wind drifts through an open window. It carries a scent of night, cool, clean, full of quiet. The curtains move gently, like waves in slow motion. The flame dances but never goes out. You watch it sway, small but steady, and you realize you could sit here forever. There is no rush to measure how long you've been here. The moment is whole, complete, round as a drop of water that never falls. The heartbeat becomes your guide through this calm. Slow, deep, deliberate. Each beat is a soft knock on the door now. Between them, silence lingers, long enough to hold entire thoughts, memories, feelings. You don't need to speak or think. You only need to listen to that rhythm. The body and time move together, unhurried, kind. In this single moment, everything feels balanced. The candle flickers, the wind breathes, your pulse moves through you like the tide. Nothing else is needed. The moment doesn't try to be longer or shorter, it simply is. And that simplicity feels vast, like standing under sky filled with quiet stars. Sometimes, time feels endless not because it stretches, but because it becomes complete. When you are calm, 1 second can hold as much as an hour of thought or motion. It holds peace, presence, awareness, all layered softly together like light through fog. That's why such moments stay with you. They are small pieces of eternity hidden inside ordinary days. You might have felt this before, watching rain fall, holding someone's hand, listening to the quiet hum of the world before sleep. The mind stopped counting, the heart slowed, and everything inside you whispered, "Stay here." Those moments are not measured by clocks. They are measured by depth, how deeply you felt them, how gently they touched you. The weight of a calm moment is not heavy. It is grounding, like a hand resting lightly on your shoulder, like the earth beneath your feet. It reminds you that time doesn't always have to move fast. It can hold you instead, cradle you, keep you still until you are ready to move again. Right now, this very moment is enough. The air is soft, the world is quiet, and your heartbeat keeps time for you. The candle's light glows steady, the wind moves slowly, and you are surrounded by peace that has no edges. Let this single moment fill you. Let it stretch wider than minutes or hours. Let it become the space where your body rests and your mind softens. You are safe in this breath, in this heartbeat, in this flicker of light. You don't need to hold on to it. It will hold on to you. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. The mind often wanders to places that do not exist, backward into memory, forward into dream. It drifts between what has been and what might be, painting pictures that feel real but live only in thought. Yet beneath all those gentle illusions, there is something still and true, the present moment, quiet and real, breathing softly beneath the noise of time. The past is not gone, it lives in memory. It comes as light through the doorway of thought, a scent, a voice, a color that pulls you backward for just a second. You may see faces, places, fragments of old days, but if you look closely, you'll see they are not happening now. They are echoes softened by distance, reshaped by emotion. The mind keeps them because it loves to remember. But even memory is a dream, a story told in the language of the heart. The future, too, is only imagination. It is a whisper of possibility, bright, uncertain, painted with hope or fear. The mind builds it out of shadows of what it already knows. We look ahead and think we see what's coming. But in truth, we are watching dreams projected across the unknown. The future never truly arrives. It always becomes a present when it comes. The truth, the calm, the stillness, they all live in the now. Right here, in this breath, in this quiet. The present moment is the only place where life truly happens. It's not a narrow space between before and after. It's wide, endless, like a deep sea without edges. The past and future float above it like reflections, beautiful but untouchable. When you relax deeply, the mind begins to release those reflections. The weight of yesterday softens, the pull of tomorrow fades. You return, slowly, to the now, where your body lies, where your breath moves, where the air touches your skin. You begin to see that nothing else needs to exist. The world is complete in this single, calm heartbeat. Imagine sitting beside a still lake. The surface reflects the sky, clouds drifting above, stars glowing faintly. The reflections are beautiful, but they are not the sky itself. If you touch the water, the images ripple and disappear. The lake, however, remains. The same is true of time. The reflections of past and future shimmer across your thoughts, but beneath them, your awareness is calm, deep, and real. The mind creates the illusion of time because it loves stories. It wants to trace lines between what was and what might be. But peace lives where those lines fade, in the open space where you are simply being. There, thought becomes soft, and everything feels whole. When you rest here, the difference between before and after disappears. You are not what happened to you, and you are not what's yet to come. You are this breath, this stillness, this moment of quiet awareness. The past and future may try to return, not to trouble you, but to remind you that they are only shapes drawn on the surface of your mind. You can smile at them, thank them, and let them drift away. You are safe in the ocean of now. Listen to your breathing. Feel how each inhale is new, how each exhale is release. Nothing else exists beyond this rhythm. You are not late, not early. You are exactly where time pauses to rest. The past is memory. The future is dream. Both are gentle illusions. And here, in the space between them, life becomes clear, simple, peaceful, real. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. The moon moves slowly, quietly, always in rhythm with time itself. Night after night, it changes, a sliver, a crescent, a glowing half, a perfect circle, then back again. Its light fades and returns with a calm certainty, never rushing, never stopping. The moon teaches us the art of patience. It reminds us that beauty takes time, that every stage, even the hidden ones, has its own soft glow. When you look up at the moon, you are watching time made visible. Its shape tells a story of days passing, of shadows shifting across its surface. Yet nothing about it feels hurried. It rises when it's ready. It fades when it must. Even in darkness, it is still there, resting behind the curtain of the night, waiting for its next return. The moon doesn't fight its rhythm. It follows the pull of the earth, the dance of the sun, the tides of the sea. Its movement is slow enough to miss if you blink, but steady enough to trust. It reminds us that progress is not always loud or visible. Sometimes it is gentle as light growing across a distant sky. Every phase of the moon holds its own kind of beauty. The thin crescent at the beginning is shy, fragile, delicate, a promise of something to come. The half moon is balanced, calm, patient, halfway through its journey, neither new nor full. And then the full moon, bright, round, and endless, shines with the weight of completion. But even this moment doesn't last forever. Soon it begins to fade again, teaching that everything, even perfection, is meant to change. You can feel this rhythm in your own life, too. There are times when you are growing, brightening, filling with energy. And there are times when you are dimming, resting, quiet. Both are necessary. Both are part of the same beautiful cycle. The moon doesn't mourn when its light fades. It knows that it will shine again. At night, when its light spills across the earth, everything seems softer. The edges of the world blur. Trees cast long silver shadows, oceans shimmer like glass, and time itself seems to slow. The moonlight does not demand attention. It simply arrives, patient and kind. It shows that you don't need to rush to be seen. You only need to exist in your rhythm. The moon's pull touches the oceans and the tides, moving water across the planet in a steady breath. It calls the waves forward, and then lets them fall away. This pull, gentle yet powerful, is a reminder that patience isn't stillness, it's quiet strength. The moon moves entire seas without sound. If you watch the moon long enough, you start to understand that beauty lives in the waiting, in the moments of change between light and shadow, between fullness and rest. The moon doesn't rush its cycle. It trusts time. And through that trust, it becomes timeless. You, too, are part of this rhythm. The same gravity that moves the moon moves the water in your body, the calm in your heart. When you slow down, when you breathe in time with the night, you join that ancient dance. You begin to feel how everything, every breath, every pause, every heartbeat, follows the same gentle law of becoming. Tonight, the moon is somewhere above you, glowing in its quiet way. Whether full or hidden, it is teaching the same lesson, that patience is its own kind of light. You don't have to be finished to be beautiful. You only have to keep shining, in your own time. Now the night grows deeper, and the moonlight softens. It lays across your skin like silver dust, calm and endless. You are part of its rhythm now, slow, gentle, timeless. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. There comes a moment each night when the mind finally releases its grip on time. The counting stops. The measuring stops. The soft hum of thought begins to fade like waves retreating from the shore. This is when sleep begins, not with effort, but with surrender. The body, wise and ancient, feels the darkness outside and trusts it. The night becomes a cradle, and the mind, at last, lets go. All day, the brain keeps track of everything. Minutes, tasks, voices, decisions, light. It holds the world together through its endless rhythm of noticing and remembering. But the night has no need for that. It asks nothing of you except rest. Slowly, gently, the brain begins to turn off its clocks. The thoughts that used to rush and repeat start to drift apart, like clouds thinning in a twilight sky. At first, there is still a whisper of awareness. The mind flickers between waking and dreaming. You may notice your breath slowing, your muscles loosening, your heartbeat growing soft. The world around you becomes less sharp, less certain. The edges of the day begin to blur. The mind is no longer naming things, no longer chasing meaning. It is beginning to dissolve into calm. In this in-between place, the sense of time melts away. You don't know if it has been 1 minute or 10. You don't care. The body moves according to a deeper rhythm now, one older than thought, one it has always known. The rhythm of the earth turning, the moon rising, the tide breathing in and out. Your body belongs to that rhythm, and it follows willingly. When the brain stops counting time, something beautiful happens. The mind and body begin to move in harmony again. The pulse and breath fall into a perfect balance, a quiet duet that carries you deeper and deeper into peace. The world outside continues. Clocks tick, stars move, night creatures stir. But within you, everything has slowed to a whisper. The body has its own intelligence. It knows when to rest, when to heal, when to dream. Even without your thoughts, it remembers what to do. The night signals safety, and your body listens. It releases the tension of daylight, the effort of holding yourself upright, the weight of memory and worry. Each breath becomes a message. It's safe now. You can rest. The space between thoughts grows wider. The mind is no longer the master of time. It is part of it, floating like a leaf on a quiet river. The sound of your heartbeat becomes distant, your breath slow and steady. The body begins to glow faintly with warmth, the muscles melting into stillness. The night covers you like a soft blanket. You can almost feel it, the cool air resting on your skin, the silence holding you gently. There's nothing left to do, nowhere to go. The brain has stopped asking questions. The heart has stopped waiting. The body trusts. You are entering the timeless space of sleep now, where the minutes have no edges and the hours pass like a dream. It is not an escape but a return, to balance, to peace, to the quiet rhythm that lives beneath all waking things. Time is still moving, but you are not chasing it anymore. You are floating within it, safe and free, carried by the deep current of night. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. The last quiet hour arrives softly, like a sigh at the end of a long day. The world has gone still. The air feels gentle and close. The sounds outside have faded into distant whispers, a rustle of wind, a faint hum of night. Everything is slowing, everything is settling, and you are lying here, suspended in calm. The body knows it's time to rest. The mind, at last, begins to fade into warmth. You can feel the bed beneath you, holding you the way the earth holds the ocean. Your weight is no longer heavy. It feels like you are floating, half inside the world, half somewhere beyond it. The blankets wrap around you like soft waves, carrying you into stillness. The longer you lie here, the more your body melts into peace. Your hands rest loosely by your sides, no longer needing to hold anything. The muscles in your shoulders soften, releasing the quiet ache of the day. The air moves slowly in and out of your lungs, each breath gentle and smooth. You begin to forget where one breath ends and the next begins. Your heartbeat keeps a slow, steady rhythm, like a faraway drum keeping time for the night. The mind grows quiet in this softness. Thoughts appear and dissolve before they can take shape. The to-do lists, the memories, the unfinished words, they all drift away, like snowflakes melting on warm skin. What's left is silence, deep, healing, perfect. In this silence, time disappears. There is no before and no after. The seconds no longer count. They simply flow together in an endless stream of peace. The room feels larger, softer, like a dream made of air. You are lying still, yet it feels as if you're moving, not through space, but through calm itself. The warmth around you begins to deepen. It fills the space between your thoughts, the space between heartbeats, the space between breaths. Every part of you is quiet now, resting in perfect balance. The eyes grow heavy, the jaw relaxes, the body feels lighter than it has all day. Even the tiny movements, the pulse at your wrist, the rise of your chest, begin to fade into the rhythm of sleep. If you could see yourself from above, you would look peaceful, like a small island in an endless sea of calm. The night holds you gently, keeping its promise to watch over you. The stars outside drift slowly across the sky, their light touching the window, faint and kind. The moon, still patient, hangs like a guardian above the sleeping world. You are part of that world, breathing with it, resting with it, safe inside it. Every breath now feels like a whisper of the earth. You inhale the coolness of night, exhale the warmth of peace. The boundary between body and head disappears. You are not separate from this calm. You are made of it. The last quiet hour is the space between waking and dreaming, between sound and silence, between effort and surrender. It is the hour that belongs only to you, soft, endless, and still. You don't need to hold on to it. The more you let it go, the deeper it carries you. Now, the warmth in your chest spreads outward, through your arms, your legs, your fingertips. Your body feels as though it is dissolving into the bed, into the room, into the night itself. The air around you is no longer cold or warm. It simply is. The darkness feels soft, almost golden, and everything in it glows faintly with peace. Time has vanished completely now. The world beyond your closed eyes is distant, muted, kind. The rhythm of life continues, the earth turning, the stars breathing, but you are inside the pause, the still scent of everything. You don't need to think. You don't need to try. You are already resting, already floating, already safe. The last quiet hour stretches endlessly, and within it, there's only one truth. You are at peace. Now the night folds around you like a blanket of silence. Your breath moves slowly, steady and sure. The warmth holds you close, and sleep waits, patient and near. Now, let yourself drift deeper into rest and sleep. The night has deepened into something endless, a soft, infinite ocean where time has finally let go. The clocks are silent now. The hands that once moved across their faces have stopped, not because they broke, but because they are no longer needed. You are far beyond counting now, floating in a space where every second stretches into peace. The world outside your window sleeps, and so does everything within you. The air is still and gentle. It wraps around you like a warm mist, settling on your skin with the softness of a sigh. Every breath you take moves through that quiet air like a wave through calm water. Each inhale is a gathering of light. Each exhale is a release, a slow surrender into comfort. There is no rhythm to follow anymore, no effort to make. The body knows what to do. The breath keeps moving on its own, and with every rise and fall, you are carried deeper into rest. The bed beneath you feels like part of the earth, solid, steady, endlessly patient. You sink into it as if the planet itself were holding you close. The sheets are warm, the air is cool, and together they create perfect balance. The body has stopped fighting gravity. It belongs to the stillness now. You are weightless, anchored and floating all at once. The night hums faintly, as if the universe is singing to itself. It's not a sound you can hear, but you can feel it, a soft vibration in the air, in the chest, in the heart. It's the same quiet song that has always been there, behind every breath you've ever taken, behind every thought that ever passed through your mind. It is a sound of existence, infinite and calm,